Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. There is going to be another... No. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. No, wait a minute. Hi guys, welcome back to another installation of... There it is, may I look good? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a video of me installing my solar panel on the roof of the van. No doubt there's going to be plenty of you screaming at the camera saying, don't do it like that. I'm going to install it on the roof of the van. Hopefully it'll fit in a little gap on the left hand side because there's a little rib that goes down the middle to reinforce the structure. Hopefully it'll go there. If it doesn't, then I'll have to span it over that. I'm also thinking maybe getting some what's called like plastic cardboard. It's like vented cardboard. If you imagine house signs, for sale signs, it's like that sort of material. So I'm thinking of maybe putting that on the roof first and then the solar panel on top. It's a flexible one so it can bend and twist and things like that. As far as I'm aware, that seems like the most sensible way of doing it. It makes the panel more efficient because it doesn't heat up as much, and the more a panel heats up, the less efficient it is. So that will reduce the life of the panel. So I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, so let's avoid that. The pop top obviously goes up at the front, but then also goes up at the back a little bit. So the wire needs to be extended that way. I was just going to have the wire on the outside, and I thought, well, I can't do that because then when the pop top's down, there's going to be a massive big dangly tail wire coming out of the back. So it's going to have to go into the pop top. This could be an interesting one because this is completely outside the realms of anything that I have ever done before. So I'll see you in a bit. See you later, bye.
My dad's stuck in a massive queue into the store to buy something for the van. I don't know what, but we're gonna be here a while.
Right guys, as you saw, had to nip to B&Q to go get some extra bits. Only a few bits, like I'd run out of silicone sealant and self-tapping screws. Now this is the board that I'm talking about. So on here is a solar panel ready to go, and it's a nice and bendy solar panel. It's very thin, but then this stuff here is like the things that they make the signposts out of, and temporary signposts and things like that, like for sale signs. And that means there's an air gap between there and there. So then when your solar panel is on, there's a little breathy air gap and a water gap as well. So rather than fixing it directly to the roof, which will be fine and it will work, it just won't work 100% all of the time. I mean, I know it won't, obviously, with variance in the weather and things like that, but whilever it's running, you want it to be running at its optimum at any one time, and this will just help that. If you stick, you can stick it to your roof, and I've read everywhere that it's absolutely fine, but I think you lose about 20% efficiency. Which again, if you're all right with that, do that, because it's easier to just stick it straight to your roof. So yeah, what I've been doing this time, so I've laid it down on the sheet that I got, and it's slightly smaller than the sheet, so I'm just going to cut round that and make that a bit nicer because the sheet won't fit in the gap on the roof. The gap that I'm talking about is this here. And if you have a quick look, there's a gap that goes from, like there's a rib there and a rib there, and the solar panel fits perfectly between those ribs. So the piece of plastic that I've bought would go further than that, and I want it to look as neat as possible. Obviously I'm going to wipe down this roof. Now also what I'm doing, apart from stepping on my cables, is I've got some extra long cables as well. These are the solar panel cables, and these fit onto the solar panel that I've bought. So make sure your connectors are compatible with the solar panel you buy. They're pretty much the same. They're pretty much universal, so you should be all right. Now on the back of the VW Transporter, there's a couple of grommets, and they're for the, I think for when the tailgate is there, fixing points and things like that, and for this sort of thing. So you see how you've got this on the door here. When you've got a tailgate, you don't have that. It goes into there instead. So what I've done is I've popped out the grommet. These are the grommets here, and they keep it sealed and safe. So I pop the grommet out and I'm going to pop it through there, and it comes out the other side, and then I'll run it across and into where all the electrics are in there. As you know, if you watch the van tour, the electrics are just in there at the back. Now, I'll install it, and I'll show you what I'm charging with it, if that makes sense. So this is going to be an install video, and then I'll explain at the end what I'm using to charge it and how I'm charging things, if that makes sense. So what I've also done is put a little slit in the original grommet from here. So I've taken the grommet from there and I've put a slit in it, and I've shoved the cables through so I can pop the grommet back in again, and then I'll throw some sealant on that once we've got it in place and it goes up and down and things like that. One thing to bear in mind is that obviously this goes up, so from there to there, so when the wire is running up here, you need to allow, don't have it tight, and don't have too much slack, because then it'll all just like pile out and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill into here, just one hole, so I can get the ends through. Once that's through, then it can go into there and down and through there. Then I'm going to put some sealant and seal all that up as well once that's in place. So I'm going to drill that out with, I've got these set, I've had this set for a while, I've never used it. They're just like circular, they cut circular holes in things, and then I'm going to seal it with that, and then I'm going to add some extra seal with this as well. The next job now is to get the wires fed in and the hole cut for the wires. Scary bit. Right, so then rather than poking through the carpet and making a mess of the carpet, I've just pulled the carpet down, the four-way stretch stuff, and then I'm going to put it in and over that, and then push the carpet back up again, because that will give you a much neater finish. If I can get it in. Right then, I'll show you. So obviously that's not pushed in yet and bunged in, and I don't want to, just in case I need to move it. That's going to get attached down there, so it's always underneath the pop top and into this little recess here, so then the door's not going to cut into it when it shuts. That's just there for now, just as a for now. But then obviously the solar panel's got about 30 centimeters of wire that's going to come down from there and plug into here, somewhere around here. I might even attach it up here somewhere, don't know yet. And then it'll all get thread across there and down the back of the cupboard into the electric thing. All seems to be working so far so good, so it's time now to start drilling some holes in my roof. Not happy about this, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit scared. Sorry I dropped you. Well, that's made a mess. We have penetration. I'll tell you something now. These roofs are thick. They are thick. Mostly wood. So if you see now, there's like a little rib there, that's like the reinforcing thing. I've not cut into that purposefully. But you can see like the layers, it's wood, it's mainly wood. It's really thick, really thick. A couple of layers of plywood, and then the fiberglass top, which I think is brilliant. Then we've got, yeah, plenty of space to send them through, but it's made so much mess. So clean up time. That's the scariest thing I think I've ever done in my entire life. Well, it's not, but it felt well scary. Hole-in pop top, done. Right, so this is what the wiring will look like. It's the only bit that will be visible. So again, that's not punched in yet because I haven't finished. That'll be the only visible wire, and then that, when the door's shut, there's a gap there, so it means that they won't pinch or anything like that. And there'll be no visible wires anywhere apart from the ones that come out of there, but then that's going to get covered up by a little junction box, and the wires are going to come out and then straight to the solar panel. So I'm going to give the roof a wipe down because I think it's got wax on it, so that needs to come off. So I'll soap and water it, get all the wax off, and then we'll figure out how we're going to get the panel on. But first things first, I need to get this bit cut down to the size of the panel. What I'm doing now is I'm getting rid of all the wax layer on the roof, so then the adhesive sticks. Oh, this one seems to be quite easy. Bloody hell. Numero uno. Let's put that in my pocket and I can put it straight in the bin when I go inside. And yeah, this one's been a bugger. Doesn't want to come off. Ugh. One more. Right, I got it off. There might have been a little bit of swearing. Right, so this is now ready to be placed. As straight as that's going to be. Oh, did you hear that? Dad, your lunch is ready. Thank you, sweetheart. I shall be there in just one moment, so I just need to make sure this is stuck down. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This is looking good. It looks like it's staying on. Might as well give this a bit of a clean as well while I'm up here. I've put some of this UPVC or plastic fixing tape, repairing tape, all along here as well. Just add a little bit of extra sealing, and you won't see it at all. It'll all be covered by the solar panel. What I've not done is I've not put it across there yet, or I don't think I will, because I want air and water to flow through these holes and come out the backside, so I don't want to be covering up the backside either. So as long as air can flow through there, it won't lift up. And then what I'll do is I'll fix down the solar panel a little bit further back, so then I can fix that down to create a bit of a spoiler almost, so then this solar panel isn't being lifted up off this. It sounds more complicated than it actually is. It's not as bad as you think. So what I'm doing now is I've just brought the solar panel up with me and the packaging that it came with. So then the solar panel is resting on the packaging, and I can give it a wipe down and a clean, and again get all the grease and marks off it that may have happened during the picking and packing. Right, so that's going to be set back a little bit because I want to put the tape on it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm not going to roll onto this. I'm just going to push it down with my hands, because I don't want to damage any of the connections or anything like that. As you can see, I don't know if you can see down here, but I've left a gap here. And this is so I can stop this from flapping in the wind, and I can put the black tape along there without blocking under there, So that's basically why I've done that. Right, so the solar panel is now installed. These aren't for holding it down, these are just literally just for aesthetics more than anything else, but although they will help hold it down as well. I'll keep an eye on that over the coming months. I'll also do a bit of a update video to show you how it's fared. I've still left this channel down here, so I pushed in the tape down there. That's absolutely fine. What I ended up doing is just putting a piece on here and on here at the front, so there's still airflow coming through, but this was the bit where I've not done the tape, so there's no strip of tape going down this bit on the plastic sheet, so I've just added a little bit more there. I don't think that'll go anywhere. So now that is the solar panel, looking snazzy. It's quite a nice neat installation, quite like it. And then to sort of even it off, if I want further down the line, I can get another one on the other side, just repeat exactly the same thing, just on the other side. So yeah, I'll quite happy with it so far. So what I'm going to do now is get the wiring in, pull that through, attach it up, and then see whether it all works as a whole unit. So the hole that I used, was a 2.2 centimeter, so 22 mil hole maker thing, and I thought that would be enough to get the fixie points through. It did get the other fixie points through that I'd bought as separate leads, but the leads that were on the solar panel were slightly bigger, so it was just a little bit of a bugger. And I didn't swear, well maybe I did a bit, but anyway, that's done now. So that's gone through, that's into that hole now, looking ace. I'm going to seal all that up. I'm going to absolutely gunk that out with silicone. Coming under here, I don't know if you've got one of these little wires, and what these do is they help the awning, not the awning, help the canvas come in when the pop top goes down, to stop it from being caught in the mechanism. So all I've done is literally just wrapped it around there. It doesn't need to be secure and fixed really tight. I was going to fix it and secure it underneath there. I mean, time will tell, but I can't see that being a problem at all. There's plenty of space up there for that to fit, because this is where all the canvas goes, and then it comes down into there and then into that grommet. At the moment they're just there, so I'm just feeding them back into there so that I can send them over to the controller over there. Once that's all in, I will explain the system that I'm using and why I'm not connecting directly to my CTEK split charger. As promised, I've come into the van now to show you my electric system. Now, I even confuse myself when I'm explaining this, so don't worry if you feel confused at this. You might completely understand it, and it might be something that you've been wanting to do for ages, but there's not really been anything on YouTube to talk about this, which there isn't. I've tried to find lots of things on YouTube about the setup that I've got, and nobody's doing it. So I'll show you the setup, and then I'll explain why I've got this setup as I go along. So under the seat down there is the leisure battery. The leisure battery gets charged by the alternator while I'm driving or while the engine's on. That's brilliant. That's what a split charge relay does. It also gets charged up, there's that battery, while I'm plugged in to electric hookup, the mains hookup at campsites and things like that, which is ace. On that split charger, there is an input for a solar panel that I could have taken this solar panel directly to, but I decided not to, and for this reason. This is why. So I have this charging station. You'll have seen on my channel previously that I've done a review of this and the reason and what I use it for and how brilliant it is. But basically you can plug normal plug sockets into this, 240 volts up to 150 watts, so like laptops, charge your phones, my blender works on it, a TV, a normal TV will work on it. Anything that doesn't draw any more than 150 watts will work on this, because it's brilliant. It's lightweight and it's excellent. But again, go to the review on my page and that'll make this more clear as to the reasons why I use it. Now, this isn't fixed into the van, it's just strapped onto here so it doesn't fall about. I can take this out with me wherever, wireless, wire free, and use it to charge up stuff. So I can be in the middle of nowhere on a mountain and I can plug my laptop in or I can be in the middle of nowhere on a mountain and plug a TV in. Not that anyone would want to do that, but I can. Now, this is brilliant. This has been perfect for me as a photographer, because I've been able to use this to cart around with me wherever I am to keep my batteries topped up and stuff. You might use it for other things, but it comes in handy as a spare. Now, when I'm plugged in on electric hookup, as a lot of you guys will have this, you'll have a battery charger that plugs into your electric hookup, which then runs and charges your leisure battery, the leisure battery over there. So this is a battery charger, and it works when we are plugged in to electric hookup. Now here comes the cool bit. The reason I have sent the solar panel to this is because I can, because there's a solar panel charging bit and it's meant to be charged by solar, but also means that I can plug the battery charger for the leisure battery directly into that. So it means that the leisure battery has always been topped up nicely. Now, there's a lot of gizmos and cool things in this that stops this from overcharging stuff. That's why I'm using it. So it'll keep the battery charged up, the leisure battery, and I can use 240 volts appliances in the van while off grid. Brilliant. It also means I can carry that and take it wherever I want to use 240 volt stuff wherever I am. So there are alternatives. You can use an inverter. It's got a built-in inverter basically, but the inverter would be fixed to the van. You would send your solar charger or anything that you would have plugged into your inverter via the batteries to then uprate that, so then you can plug in 240 volts. The reason I'm not using an inverter is because I like to make my inverter portable. It stores the power that the sun's creating, which is brilliant. So when the van's off, I am storing the sun's power while I'm not doing anything, which is ace. So that's the whole point in using this system, and the reason I've used it the way I have. I hope that's not confused anybody. It certainly confused me as I was talking about it, but it makes perfect sense to use it this way for my purpose. And some of you guys might be doing the same as well. If you're a photographer or a videographer and use a lot of batteries, we go through batteries like, oh, so quickly we eat through batteries. So to have this station in here so then I can come and charge everything up quickly at 240 volts means that it's like having it plugged in at a campsite wherever I am. But I can be in the middle of nowhere, which is ace. Anyway, I hope this installation video helped somebody. If not, then I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that. It's not a tutorial. It's more of watched me install my solar panel. I'll come back to it in a few months' time just to show you how it's fared and the way that I've installed it, to see if I've had to change anything or resecure it or anything like that, just so then you know that we can. Is that still chat? Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, so then you know that the way I've installed this has worked. And then what I might do is add that video to the description below as and when I do it. So if it's not there, it means I haven't done it yet, and if it is there, it means I have. And I might even put one of those cards that appears somewhere, I don't know. So what I'm going to do now, you don't want to watch me do this, we've got a light here, and that usually when you sat here, and Michelle likes to lean against this and it shines right in her face and she don't really like it. So what I'm doing is I'm fitting a switch to that light, so then she can just switch it off and on independently to everything else, so then it's not in her face. So that's the final job for today, and then I think I'm done when it comes to DIY stuff in the van. We just need to get on a pop top adventure, don't we? Right, okay, so comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. It's a solar panel install. I've never done it before. It's my first ever time, so I don't know. Enjoy, guys. There's a van tour video coming soon as well, because I have done so much stuff to this since the last van tour, and there's also camping essentials things as well that I'm also going to go back through and revisit. Take care, guys. Have a lovely evening, whatever you're doing. Stay safe. Big love.